Hey guys, EBPMAN here, and today we're going to take a look at a security pack combo brought to us by Reolink. This is the Reolink Argus 2 with the solar panel. Let's go ahead and check it out. Now the Reolink Argus 2 is a wire-free rechargeable battery security system. So this does not require anything more than some screws to mount it on a wall, on a ceiling, or somewhere outside, because this is also a weatherproof solution, to really start capturing what's going on around you. Now the neat thing about this is that because it doesn't require power or cables, it could also be charged using this solar panel. So the camera itself has several neat features. Let's go to check it out. So let's take a look at some of the specs now. So we're looking at 100% wire-free setup with the rechargeable battery, and we have the optional solar panel. You have night vision capabilities. It is weatherproof, so you can use this inside or outside. You have an app that supports push-to-talk, email, and siren alerts. Live view, so you're going to be able to see what's going on at any time just with the simple push of a button. The solar panel that we talked about, 1080p full HD, and then also you have this smart PIR sensor, two-way audio communication. So not only are you going to be able to see, but you'll also be able to hear and also speak through the security camera itself. Let's unbox it and check it out. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look and see what's included. So you have some miscellaneous user information here. So quick start guide, satisfaction card, everything associated with that. We'll put it to the side. Here we have the camera itself. We'll take a really closer look at this in a bit. Put that over to the side. We have a cover, it looks like. So I have a cover for an outdoor sleeve. It's a silicone sleeve. I don't know what this strap is for, but we'll see that in a little bit maybe. A micro USB charging cable, mounting screws, yeah, so all that stuff associated with that, so put that aside. We have the battery, a little lanyard thing, and then we have this mounting bracket that's going to give you various different angles too. So with the solar panel, you do have another instruction set and quick reference information, and this is the solar panel. It reminds me a lot of like a Kindle Fire tablet, or just a small 7-inch tablet, so that's pretty neat. You can see it has like some mounting brackets and some things there, so we'll push that over to the side. You also have some mounting options, and then you have this bracket, right? Very similar to the one that we have right here. And I'm sure this is to adjust it so that you can get the right amount of sun hitting that solar panel. And that's pretty much it. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a closer look at the camera, and then we'll look at the panel. So the camera itself has a magnetic mounting system. So this is pretty heavy, and it's a very powerful magnet. Watch this. So it'll go into place, and it really holds in place nicely. And it's going to give you the ability to rotate your camera however you'd like it positioned. Again, this could be mounted on a flat surface. This could be mounted on a ceiling. This could even be mounted on a tree. So let me show you something. I was kind of curious as to what this was when I was looking at it, when it came in the packaging as we were doing the unboxing. And you'll notice back here, these slots. Well, what you could do is you can actually insert this through these slots here and tie this around a branch to connect this, because remember, this is 100% wireless, and then this would be your mounting system. So that's pretty cool. So in addition to having this rotation or mounting that's going on right here, you do have a reset button and a micro SD slot here. Now, it does not come with a micro SD slot, so you'd have to get one of those. It does not have any kind of cloud service that I saw for DVR purposes, so everything is stored on this device. Let's see what else. On the back here, you see you have this USB-C charging area, and that's the same place that you're going to put it to charge it, as well as to connect this solar panel to it. So the solar panel connection goes in there, and you can see it's a rubberized piece that once this goes in, it's going to cover it up nicely, so you won't get any water in there. The battery is removable, right? So this is the button right here that you push. Once you push this out like this, you just pull out the battery. So let me show you how that works. I'll go ahead and push, and then it slides out just like this. And now this is what you would charge. This is the rechargeable component of it. And then to put it back in, you just slide it like this. Now once you slide this back in, it's going to go out through the boot sequence. So right now it's in, and you'll see that this little light will turn on in a second. See how that turned on? And it's going to connect to my Wi-Fi network. So again, very, very flexible when it comes to where you want it, how you want it placed, anywhere in your home. The only thing is that everything is on the SD card as opposed to cloud. Now, while that may seem as a negative to some of you, it's actually also a positive because there's no other cost. So when you purchase this device, you pay a little bit, it's around 124 bucks for it. You pay for this and you don't have to pay for any subscription service. Maybe at a later date they'll come out with their own subscription service. So we'll see that. Now the panel, as we looked at it, it's large. It's going to be great so that if you want to have this outside and you don't want to ever worry about the batteries, all you have to do is plug this in. It has this mounting mechanism here. So you can see this one has to be fixed here. So you're going to put that there, and then this one will have to be bolted down wherever you want it. So it's not the kind that you can strap around anything. And then you would adjust it to make sure that you're getting the sunlight. So you can see the reflection coming from my overhead LED. Just make sure that you're getting some good sunlight there, and it's going to keep this thing charged at all time. Now, as soon as you connect the battery to the camera is going to ask you to go through the setup process. So I went ahead and downloaded the Reolink application. Let me show you what it looks like on the App Store. So it's available on both the iOS as well as the Android marketplaces. So I've already went ahead and installed it. And the next step I have to do is just hit plus. Right, so I'm going to go ahead and hit this plus to add the camera, and then it's going to ask me to align it with the QR code that's in the back of the camera. So there's a QR code that I'm going to scan, and I've already done it. And as soon as you do it, you're going to have some choices: connect to Wi-Fi, connect to the Reolink base if there is one. So let me go ahead and do the setup. Alright, so now that I've entered the Wi-Fi and SID information, I just took the phone, put it in front of the camera. There was a QR code here. It scanned it, and then it went through the process of setting up. You get voice prompts throughout the entire process, so there's no guessing. It will tell you power it up. It will say set up the app, and it will ask you to put the QR code in front of it to go through the setup process. So we're just going to let it finish up. Now the next thing you're going to do is you're going to name your camera, you're going to give it a password, and then go on to the next step. So let's go ahead and take a look at the app. So first of all, you have the name of your camera, and if you have multiple cameras, they would be listed here. If the connection is established and the last thing that the camera saw, you have that motion detection function enabled or disabled. You do have, once again, the ability to share this to someone, enable push alerts, and go and help. You have information about your Wi-Fi and your network status. You could go into the display settings here and then really look at the display camera name that you see here on the bottom, if that's on or off. You can change the positioning, name positioning where you want. So there's a lot of little customization things that you can do. See if you want the date displayed. And then you can work with different rotations. So depending on how you mount this camera, if you're going to be mounting it, for example, upside down on a ceiling, you may want to flip these rotations. So that's there. You have anti-flicker settings as well that you can set. So let's go out. You have then, if there's an SD, so the SD, I don't have an SD stored, but the SD would be necessary if you want to be able to record any of the action that's taking place. The sensor that it's on, and then also what the sensitivity is going to be for that. So with this camera, there's no zoning. So if you look at cameras like Nest and others that we reviewed on the channel, you can actually draw zones where you want the camera to pick up a specific movement and ignore others. The Argus 2 does not have that. So it's just pretty much looking at whatever it can see, and it's going to look at different sensitivities, low, medium, and high, and do a couple things. It could either send an email, it could turn on a siren, and we'll go ahead and turn that on so you can get annoyed as to how loud it is, which is good. And then also it could record. So I'm going to say yes to save this content, and you can see how quickly that did that. You have then password settings, infrared, LED status lights, firmware upgrades, and then some information about the system and the ability to delete it. Let's go ahead and take a closer look at the camera now. So you see my crew right there, and some of the stuff that I've been reviewing, some boxes laid on my on my desk here. And you can zoom in. And if you notice right here, that looks really good. That's really good quality. Now, it may be a little bit difficult for you to see because that's small. So what you could do is you can rotate this like this. We'll put this back a little bit. And let's up this. All right. So now you can see even a better view of what's going on. And we'll zoom in. So the quality is actually pretty good. Again, it's 1080p, not 4K streaming. The one thing I'll mention is that the camera itself does not support 5 gigahertz network, so it's a 2.4 gigahertz. But we've seen that from also products like Arlo. I think even the latest version isn't a 5 gigahertz yet. We'll have to check that. They may have upgraded it, but I know definitely for sure the Arlo version 1 was only 2.4. So I have this at the highest quality mode, so I'm not too worried about it. This is why you see this message here about it being fluent, and so that's what's just communicating. On the top, and fluent meaning that the things on the screen move really nice, stutter free. Over here you'll see the date time information, and again if you want to go back to that other mode, all you have to do is switch. So let's see how quickly does the camera see something coming in, and will it notify of activity. So I'm going to take this little adapter and I'm going to bring it in. You heard that. So you heard how quickly that started. So I'm going to do that again, and let me go ahead and I'm going to put the camera, watch the camera right there, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring it into shot. 3, 2, and here it goes. Oh, and this time it took a little bit. All right, so from the top, that's interesting. From the top, it didn't pick it up. Let's try from the side now. And maybe it's because I turned off that notification. So from the side, it took it. Try from this side. Not a problem. And now, if I'm a thief and I'm coming from the ceiling, there, grabbed it. Let's see if the reflective coating on this, because it is reflective, and see if that's what's causing it. So there's a little latency. Yeah, check that out. So right there, that's where it picked it up. So if it's extremely close to the camera, it doesn't pick it up. But keep in mind, this is going to be mounted on a ceiling. This is going to be mounted in an area that it's never going to come into something that's going to be that close in contact. So I wouldn't freak out because it didn't detect it when it was really close, just like that, because again, you're going to have this mounted higher. I'm going to bring my hand in further out and bring it in, and we'll see what happens. Okay, you saw how that came in really quick. Again. All right. So enough about the alarm. So that works really well. Let's check out how the infrared works for night vision. All right, so now you could see what the night or the IR infrared night vision sensitivity looks like and how much is really coming through. So you see my crew there is very visible. It doesn't seem like everything is not in focus, so you can see how everything seems that's really well focused. And we'll zoom in a little bit so you can see these guys. So everything looks really good. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my hand in to see again if that is going to stay in focus. Let's do that one more time so you can see that, because I was a little washed out. So you can see how nice that is. So everybody is in focus. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my hand into the shot. That was pretty good. So it detected it really well. And there was some latency coming over here, but it was literally real time. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this out of the side so you can see how real time that is. And we'll bring the camera into sight. So here's the camera in sight. Leave it right there. And now I'm going to bring my hand in so you can watch this coming in. So it's picking up pretty decent when it comes to the angle in which it's picking it up. So that's the alarm, and then that's also the night vision. Now for those of you who are considering how sensitive the sensor is and when it's going to pick up someone who passes by, you notice you have 3 settings, low, mid, and high, and each one of these describes how many meters or how many feet will it pick someone up. So it will detect something moving, right, from anywhere from 13 feet up to 30 feet away. All right, so let's take a look at what the camera looks like, or at least the solar panel system. It's been waiting a couple days here in Chicago. We've had a lot of snow. We've had a couple of good days. This is one of those rare days that we don't have a lot of wind. And I wanted to show you what the setup looks like. Now, the solar panel has a very long and generous cable, which should be able to allow you to mount it virtually anywhere. And as you can see right here, I'm going to twist this over so you can see this. The plug goes here in the back. And again, it's going to be pretty secure. It doesn't pop out that easily. The one thing I will mention is that the little plastic piece that flips up and open, that broke off rather easily. So that may be something that the manufacturer may want to take a look at a little bit later. Now, you could use this sleeve. So this sleeve, I actually would recommend having this on because it's going to give you this this area right here that's going to help with direct sunlight. So this is like if you think about your baseball cap and you want to keep the sun out of your eyes, this is going to be great for your camera as well. So I would leave this sleeve on if you're going to mount it in an outdoor area. Now, the other question you may be asking yourself is, how do I know if the solar panel is providing juice? Right? So let me show you in the app, because you can see it in the app. And we're going to bring the app into focus right here. It's outside, so I hope it'll come through. Can you see how next to that battery symbol, we're looking at it right there, how you see that little starburst that's right there? That indicates that you have your solar panel is working. We're going to get a little bit closer, and you can see how it has a little plus sign next to it, or like a little arrow doohickey there. So what it's doing is it's providing enough power to recharge the battery. Now, keep in mind that since the camera itself is not streaming 100% of the time, it really doesn't have to provide a lot of juice. So this is really a motion detection camera, and the only time that you're going to be exercising the camera, I would say heavily, is when you are wanting to stream, when you go in and look at it. So the panel is going to do a great job. It's going to keep your device charged. It's going to really make it very flexible for those of you who are in a outdoor setting. Like I have friends and family that have homes in Michigan or Wisconsin and have internet but really don't have electricity going far out in some of their properties, and maybe they want to have a view from the woods towards their home, and they could use a camera like this. Or if you're just going to be mounting it outside and you're in the city or the suburbs like I am, and you want to be able to see what's going on around your house, but you don't want to have to run wires. So this is something that you could easily put, for example, on top of your garage and mount this as well, and then just set it and forget it. You don't have to worry about power ever. So great option for those of you who are considering a camera like this. So let's wrap up this video. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and wrap up the Argus 2 camera Reolink review with some final thoughts. So is this a buy or a pass? I put this as a buy. And especially if those of you who don't really care about having a cloud service and that can live with having a micro SD inside of the camera to capture video. If that's the type of camera you're looking for, I think that the performance is really good. I like the overall image quality, and I love the flexibility that it has when it comes to the panel and the wireless motion detection, right, that's going on here, and how long this battery will last. Because if you recall, this is going to last, depending on the kind of activity that you're seeing, up to several months. So with that, let's wrap it up, and if you have any comments or questions, leave it in the comment area. Make sure you smash that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one.